Reaction Entry Engine. First Touch Reaction Framework. Reaction Entry Engine is a structured supply and demand reaction framework built for traders who want clear context before reacting to a zone. Instead of treating every touch as equal, the engine focuses on the first meaningful return into a valid structural area. It combines reaction zones, quality grading, optional liquidity sweep confirmation, higher time frame bias, and clean TP/SL projection visuals into one organized workflow. The goal is simple: read the zone, understand the context, and react with more clarity. This is not an automated trading system or a promise of results. It is a decision support tool designed for education, chart analysis, and structured review. Not every touch deserves a reaction trade. One of the biggest mistakes traders make is reacting to every level as if every touch has the same value. But repeated touches can weaken a zone. A weak pivot can create poor structure. A fake rejection can look convincing for a moment. And without context, a setup can appear tradable even when the quality is low. Reaction Entry Engine is built to reduce that problem. It helps separate cleaner first-touch reactions from exhausted zones, noisy moves, and low-conviction setups. A level alone is not enough. Reaction quality, confirmation, and market context decide whether the setup deserves attention. Structure built from pivots. The foundation of Reaction Entry Engine is the zone engine. The script builds supply and demand reaction zones from confirmed pivot highs and pivot lows. A pivot high can create a supply zone, while a pivot low can create a demand zone. These zones are not just single price lines. They are structured areas created with ATR-based thickness so the chart can reflect price zones more realistically. The engine can use chart timeframe zones, higher timeframe zones, or both. It can also merge nearby zones, monitor zone age, count touches, and remove broken or exhausted areas. This gives traders a cleaner structural map before any reaction is considered. Grade the zone. Focus on the first touch. Not every zone has the same value. Reaction Entry Engine uses a quality model to rank zones based on structure, displacement, touch behavior, and context. A fresh zone with strong displacement and clean alignment may receive a higher grade. An exhausted zone with too many touches, weak movement, or poor confirmation may be treated as lower quality. This helps traders avoid reacting blindly to every supply or demand area. The focus is not simply price touch to zone. The focus is this zone fresh? Is the structure respected? And is the reaction meaningful? Do not trade every touch. What makes a signal valid? A reaction label does not appear just because price touches a zone. The confirmation model checks multiple conditions first. For bullish reactions, price must interact with a valid demand style zone, show the required candle behavior, create rejection from lower prices, and reclaim the internal zone level. For bearish reactions, price must interact with a valid supply style zone, show bearish confirmation, reject from higher prices, and close back below the required internal level. Optional filters can add liquidity sweep confirmation and higher time frame bias alignment. Only after the selected conditions are satisfied does the engine display a bullish or bearish reaction label. The label is educational and visual. It is not financial advice, and it is not a guaranteed trade signal. Context matters. Reaction Entry Engine includes smart filters to help make the workflow more selective. The core mode controls how strict the engine should be. Conservative mode filters more. Balanced mode is the default middle ground. Aggressive mode allows more reactions. The liquidity sweep filter can require SSL sweep confirmation for bullish reactions and BSL sweep confirmation for bearish reactions. The HTF bias filter can align reactions with broader market direction using higher time frame context. Premium reaction mode can make the system even more selective by focusing on fewer but cleaner reactions. These filters do not remove every false signal. They help organize context so the trader can make better decisions. White entry line and soft TP/SL projection. When a valid reaction is confirmed, Reaction Entry Engine can project a clean visual trade framework. The entry reference is based on the reaction bar close. The stop-loss area is placed beyond the zone using an ATR-based buffer. Targets are calculated using a configurable reward-to-risk model. The update also includes a clear white entry line, designed to make the entry reference easier to see on the chart. Soft TP and SL projection boxes help visualize risk and reward without overcrowding the chart. These projections are not broker orders. They do not include spread, slippage, commissions, or execution delay. They are visual planning tools for structured chart review. Context at a glance. The checklist dashboard gives a compact live summary of what the engine is seeing. It can show the current status, zone merge state, higher time frame bias, last signal, zone grade, sweep condition, reaction state, and risk model. Instead of filling the chart with too much information, the dashboard keeps the key context organized in one place. Tooltips also help explain important chart labels, signals, zones, TP results, and SL results without adding extra visual clutter. This makes the chart easier to study while still giving deeper context when needed. The purpose is clarity, less noise, more structured information. Read the zone. Plan the reaction. A simple workflow can make the indicator easier to use. First, add reaction entry engine to your chart. Then map the structure by reviewing important swing areas, supply zones, demand zones, and higher time frame context if enabled. Next, wait for the first meaningful reaction into a valid zone. After that, check the dashboard and confirmation checklist, zone grade, liquidity sweep, HTF bias, and reaction state. Finally, use the projection levels as a visual planning framework for entry, stop, and target review. The indicator should support your process, not replace your judgment. Use it with your own market context, risk management, and trading plan. Monitoring, limitations, and responsible use. Reaction entry engine also includes alert conditions for important events. Alerts can help monitor bullish reaction signals, bearish reaction signals, and closed reaction projections. But alerts are not automation. They do not place trades. They do not execute broker orders, and they do not guarantee that a setup will work. The engine uses bar-based chart data, which means some outcomes depend on candle structure and cannot perfectly represent live execution. Historical behavior does not guarantee future results. Reaction entry engine is for educational and informational use only. It does not constitute financial advice. Use it as a structured visual framework for study, review, and decision support. The final responsibility always belongs to the trader.